really sorry about this absence, but I really had no time to keep on making these videos. We moved out, and then the job, and then I'm back at school. As usual, when I'm absent, I kept on answering your comments and questions, but I really had no time to keep doing videos. But I'm back. And I thought it would be nice to come back and present you all the blooms I had. Last time I did this was in October, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just consider this from November to February. Generally speaking, and considering the season, there were not so many blooms, but anyways, here they are. First off, we have this Pleurothallis. And I don't know what Pleurothallis this is because I lost the tag. Anyways, it's really beautiful and I really like the lip. Now, this is a Cattleya, and I don't really know what Cattleya this is. I only got it because it's huge. I mean, the size of the plant just amazed me. And the flowers are pretty cool too. They smell really nice. The scent isn't really like any Cattleya scent, but it's still really nice. This is Dinema polybulbon. Now, what I like about this plant is that it grows really fast. It creates some sort of a bush, and likewise, it blooms a lot. It isn't really that tiny, and what I really like about this plant, about this flower, is the scent. This is one of my favorite epidendrums. This is Epidendrum marmoratum. Now, I don't really know what I like the most about this plant. Blooms are not big, they are not waxy, they don't have a scent. But I don't know, perhaps the color, the pattern, I don't know, I just really like it. This is another Lilia anceps. I have many, but this took longer to bloom, so I couldn't add it to the Day of the Dead video. Here is a Barcaria. Now the thing with the Barcaria is that I can really grow them. They always die, either by excess watering or by lack of watering. Now regarding the name, I don't really know why they call it Uniflora, since it doesn't create just one bloom. Instead, it creates a stem with many flowers. This is Lilia rubescens. The thing that's different between this one and the one I already showed you in the Day of the Dead video is the color. This is Lilia rubescens variety semi-alba. And the same thing happened with this one as with the Lilia anceps. This one didn't bloom in time, so I couldn't add it to the previous video. Here we have a Phalaenopsis. And this is a hybrid with a name. This is Phalaenopsis orchid world. Whether you believe it or not, this is a Phalaenopsis I really like. It's different to the other hybrids we find. First off, it doesn't create a long stem with many blooms. The flower spikes are pretty short, and as far as I see, it can create up to 3 blooms at the same time. But what's best about the blooms is the scent. The scent is really strong, and it's like citrusy. This is Paphiopedilum nitens. It's a primary hybrid between... I forget names. Anyways, it's a primary hybrid. The thing with this plant is that this year it only gave me 3 blooms. And last year it gave me 7 blooms. There must have been something wrong with the culture. I don't know. Next year will be. Here we have a species. Paphiopedilum bellatulum. Now this Paphiopedilum is just amazing. You already know I'm the kind of person who likes species over hybrids. But this species is just amazing. And the best part about this one is that the bloom has lasted for about 3 months. When I first recorded it was around December before our Orchid Society meeting. February is almost gone, so yeah. Oh, Danny, I think you might like this. Here is officially the first Vanda to bloom. Now, this very Vanda tried to bloom last year, but due to cold weather, the buds blasted, so it doesn't count. This is Vanda Pakong Blue. Blooms are relatively small, I mean, for a Vanda, especially if we compare it to the Vanda Pachara Delight, which is huge. But still, it's really pretty. This is one of those blue hybrids. I mean, it's not really blue, but that's the way they call it. And I'd like to tell you what happened to this spike. When it was in the previous greenhouse, I had it on a shelf real high. It was almost touching the plastic. And I don't know, I don't really remember if it was storm or just the wind, but the plastic moved a lot, and when I was home, I saw part of the spike on the floor. Luckily, two buds made it and bloomed. Here's a proof that I didn't really have any time. I couldn't even record my plants. This is Camaridium densum, or at least what's left of the blooms. These blooms look really good while fresh. Not like this, but anyway, here it is. Here's a miniature. This is Trichosalpinx ciliaris. The interesting thing about this one is that the blooms grow underneath the leaves, which is why I almost totally missed it. I just saw the blooms when I was taking everything into boxes for the moving. This is Platysteles stenostachya. Now, this is my favorite miniature. I had already introduced you to this plant, but now I'm going to show you the two color variations that I own. The thing I like the most about this plant is that the blooms are the smallest in my collection. Here's another epidendrum. Now, I don't really know anything about this one. I don't know if it's a species, I don't know if it's hybrid. Here in Puebla and many parts of Veracruz, I know it's really common, and still I don't really know anything about it. This is Isochilus aurantiacus. The thing I like about this one is the plant, the leaves. It looks like some sort of fern, and at the tip we can find the flowers. Now, remember a plant I bought at the orchid show? I still don't know anything about it. And ever since I bought it, it has bloomed about 2 or 3 times. I'm almost certain it's a Hylobium, or whatever you call it, but I haven't been able to really identify it. This plant took me by surprise. When I bought it, it had no blooms. And I bought it because a friend of mine told me that he saw the blooms and that they were beautiful. So I said, you know what, let's buy it. And as I was putting everything in boxes for the move, I saw they had a spike. This is Trichopilia tortilis by Trichopilia suavis. The blooms are really beautiful. The pattern is very beautiful and they are scented. The scent isn't strong, but it's real nice. And still blooming is the Prostechia cochleata. Now, the only difference between these blooms and the ones it created during summer is that it only creates 1 or 2 at a time, and they're not so long lasting. Now, this is really off season. This is Nirema buti, and because it's so off season, it can only create 1 bloom. And here it is. This is a very pretty bloom, or at least that's what I think. This is Maxillariella anceps. The reason I find this so beautiful is because it's really not that easy to find white maxillarias or maxillariellas. I had already showed you many blooms like this, but here are the other 2 maxillariella variabilis I have. One is red, kind of wine red, and the other is yellow. And the thing I like about the yellow one is that the sepals on the outer side are orange. This is a trichocentrum I really like, and it's just because of the color. Most trichocentrum are yellow and this is white. This is Trichocentrum straminobium. Now, this is a huge accomplishment. It doesn't matter what they say about this plant. They say it's really easy to bloom, really easy to take care of, and still I couldn't manage to bloom it. Not even once until now. And the best part is that it's a semi-alba variety. This is Encyclia cordillera variety semi-alba. Now, you might have heard or read about the scent of this flower, that it's really strong and really pleasant. Now, I must say, you must smell it at least once in your life. Now, this plant took me by surprise, and it put me in a hurry too. If you know this plant, oh, this is Myrmecophila tibicinus. If you know this, you know that the bloom spikes can grow up to 2 or 3 meters. Now, fortunately, my plant isn't that mature yet, so the bloom spike is just about 1.5 meters. Still, I don't know what I'm going to do when it's fully mature. I think I just find a way. Oh, and the blooms are scented. The thing I find most interesting about these blooms is that, at least my plant, the blooms close during the night and reopen in the morning. The first time I saw this, I thought, you know what, these blooms only last for one day, like the vanilla or I don't know. And the next morning, I saw that the one that had closed the night before was open again and a new one had opened. Now, here's another miniature. Yeah, I really like miniatures. This is Asianthera obscura. The thing that can be difficult about miniatures is knowing when they are in bloom. I didn't know it was in bloom. I was doing something, looking at another plant, I don't know. And then I saw these blooms. And the best part is that not only this cane has blooms, but all the rest have either blooms or buds. This is another primary hybrid. This is Paphiopedilum latamenum. And just like the Paphiopedilum nitens, I don't remember the species. Now, here's the last miniature, Restrepia muscifera. I always wanted to have this plant because I find the bloom to be very, very beautiful. And luckily, a friend of mine in the Orchid Society agreed to exchange one division. So here it is. And of course, the bloom took me by surprise. And I think, after all, I had a lot of blooms. Now, before I go, I'd like to tell you something new about this channel. As you might remember, I said I would add captions to the videos I uploaded. But because of the move and the job and now the school, I really have no time to do that. And I can't keep ignoring the subscribers either. So I came up with this idea of uploading 2 videos the same day. Now, don't get me wrong, I will upload the very same video just twice. One in English, one in Spanish. And remember, it will be the very same video, the very same content. Just one in English and one in Spanish. And let's see how it works. And that's all. Now remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more orchid videos. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!